Hey world, this is Jamie, host of the Jamie and Genty Show, broadcasting live each week on Tuesday at 12 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios. Log on to hear sports talk from basketball to football and view your feedback on the biggest sports news you want to talk about from around the world. So be sure to log on each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Jamie and Genty Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in. Welcome to the Beyond the Game podcast on Fishbowl Radio. My name is Jamie. It's Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. I hope everyone's doing great out there. And before we get to the NBA playoffs, a lot of things happened last night. Was the draft lottery, the Knicks and Celtics game, and all that jazz. So we're going to break it down here in a second. But first, here's my opinion on the trade that happened last week. So the Dallas Cowboys gave up. They gave up their 5th and 7th round pick for next year to get George Perkins. Now, this smells championship status. Here's the reason why. You got a receiver, and CeeDee Lamb every year's been 1,000 yards. You got George Pickens that comes in and says, I've been playing with the worst quarterbacks in the league. Russ is on his last legs. Justin Fields is not that legit. So that's why for his anger of last season. Listen, George is what we needed. I was very surprised. I thought okay, we're set up our receiver. We're going to be fine. And then this happened. And George needed a fresh start. So you go to Dallas. Here you are. You're not stopping anyone. I was telling this Commanders fan, hey, who are you stopping on offense? Do you realize that Perkins was the right quarterback, can have an efficient season for years to come? Dak is an efficient quarterback. Dak is the most well-rounded quarterback in the NFC East, and so you needed somebody to help you. Perkins comes in, and he does legitimate just like that. And so I'm surprised, but I'm happy that we made this trade. It does smell NFC East success. We're right there with the Eagles. We can leapfrog the Commanders. That's fine. They're going to have they're going to have a so-so season. But the Cowboys, I want to see what happens in training camp. I want to see how they mesh on the line of scrimmage in the offense. So I'm happy about it. I want to see what happens. This smells 11 to 12, maybe 13 wins in the regular season for the Dallas Cowboys. And as of yesterday, the first game of the season will be the Cowboys and the Eagles. And I'm like, we got to watch that team hold the banner. That should motivate you, Doc. That should motivate you, CD. You have to watch that crowd in Philly. They're getting their rings. They're holding up the banner. That should feel a fire in you. That should feel a fire in you. That's what I'm saying right now. I'm saying because we should win. We should win. We should be in the position that the Eagles were last year. If that does not feel you, I don't know what else will. If George Perkins or Pickens does not feel your offense, I don't know what will. Of course, we got to address the running game, but I'm thinking if this running back from the Denver Broncos does not work out, then we can go outside we can go outside the organization and go find a running back. We can go find one. I'm not worried about it. What I'm worried about is the Eagles. I'm not worried about the Commanders. What? I mean, that's one season wonder. We have leapfrog. With that trade, we have leapfrog the Commanders as win totals. We can outshine them. So So whatever they have in Washington, it stays in Washington. Whatever. Okay, this is the Cowboys' season to lose. And if they can't figure this out, I don't know what else we can do. But 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 anyways, but last night. Now let's start with the Knicks and the Celtics. Basically, the Celtics and the Knicks. The Knicks are up 3-1. Tatum last night had 42 points and 8 rebounds. He left 3 minutes left in the game with what apparently to be a lower leg injury. And as of right now, we sit here at 12:20 right now. We have not seen an injury report. They said he's going to get an MRI. That report has not came out yet. I hate when social media plays doctor because people are saying, well, that's a torn Achilles. Oh, that's a broken ankle. We don't know what it is. Let's stop playing doctor and let the real doctors tell us what his injury is. Like, I don't know why we in society we want to play doctor. To say, you know what? Oh, yeah, that's a torn Achilles. Oh, yeah, that's a torn ACL. Let's wait until we get that report, and then we can make our own assessments. We don't have a PhD and PhD or whatever that crap is in physical therapy. Let them take care of that. They'll let us know. But he was having a phenomenal game. But I wish him nothing but the best. He's actually one of my favorite players. And when he went down, my soul left my body. I chose the Celtics to win this series. I know that they've been struggling in late game situations, holding the leads in the first 2 games, up by 20 in the first 2, and then laying an egg in the second half in those first 2 games, and then laid an egg last night. Last night they were up by 14 in early in the third quarter, and Tom Thibodeau calls the timeout and probably made some adjustments, put some fire in the guys, and the guys went on a 29-9 run to take the lead and never look back. And so this is not his fault. Like I said, I wish him nothing but the best. Other than that, Jalen Brunson had 39 points and 5 rebounds, 12 assists. Wearing the Knick hat. And I just realized that too. And so this series could be over. The Knicks had 4 players in double figures last night. They took everything. They took everything away in the first 3 quarters. The double-digit leads are useless. The Celtics have numerous times they have taken a double-digit lead in these games. They won one of them, but they can't close it out. So now we're worried. We're worried. We're focused. The Celtics should be focusing on not only Tatum's injury, but what they can do in Game 5. They can be out of it, and so now. Game 5 tomorrow night is going to be a little different. Obviously, whatever happens with the report happens. If Jason Tatum comes back for Game 5, which we don't know, we can speculate. We're not comparing injuries to the Paul Pierce one. Do you remember that one, 2008? I remember that one. I remember when Paul Pierce went down. I think he bumped knees and they put him in the wheelchair, and oddly enough, he came back. I watched that game in 2008 against the Lakers. It was in the finals, and with Jason Tatum doing it, last night. Again, it broke my heart. But in Game 5, for the Knicks, they got to take the drives away from the Celtics. I know the Celtics are going to come out and play hard. They got to come out with some energy. I know it's going to be tough, but the Knicks have to come out and not be down by double digits every single game. We need Karl-Anthony Towns to be effective. Karl-Anthony Towns has the game of, I'm going to shoot threes. One game, I'm going to drive to the basket. Another game, what is it? Like, are you going to drive to the basket and stay driving to the basket, or are you going to shoot threes and think that you're Steph Curry and you can make at least 10 to 12 of them? You're not Steph. You can't make threes. I don't know who told you you can make threes. Every time you go 0 for 8 from downtown is a problem for the New York media. They want you to drive to the basket. They want your back behind the basket and be effective down there. You're not even doing that in this series. You did it against Detroit, and Detroit couldn't find a way to guard you. And then Brunson has to break down the defense to create shots for, not only for himself but for others as well. Anytime he gets to that mid-range game, when he gets down there, he's tough to stop. He can shoot over you. He can pass it out. Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart and OG Anunoby and Deuce McBride have made shots off those mid-post drives that Jalen Brunson has gone to. So, with that being said, I do think that the Knicks have a plan to win Game 5. I'm not sure they're going to win Game 5, but they do have a plan to win Game 5. Boston. Jaylen Brown has to be effective. This is his game. Jaylen Brown has to do it. You got paid $300 million last offseason. You have to go out there with a vengeance and attack. Stop selling me. Stop being useless. Go attack. Because what we paying you for? To lay eggs. You can't be doing that shit. Go out and attack. Penetrate and dominate the basket. And then also, you got to fight. You got to fight. You got to fight. You got to fight for if Jason is out, you gotta win for him, because you could go home tomorrow night and it'll be another season of what could have been. And I remember last week when Perk was talking about this is a legacy game for both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, really. And then I was like, Perk, why would you say that? They're both 26 years old. I'm like, they're not going to retire tomorrow. That's what you're saying. You're saying all that crap because the Celtics no longer want your service anymore. And now you can say whatever the hell you want. This is not a legacy game for them. They're going to be fine. They're 26, 27 years old, respectfully. If they lose this series, they got another career. They got another 10 to 15 years to get millions and millions of championships. They're light years ahead than Anthony Edwards and John Morant. Heck, even Giannis. And so the Celtics tomorrow night have to find a way to fight. Find a way to beat the Knicks. Find a way to not settle. Attack. But then again, I'm choosing the Celtics to win tomorrow night because of that. I'm not believing in this Knicks nonsense. I think... I do think that the Celtics will win tomorrow night. And so we'll see what happens. Number two, the Wolves and the Warriors series. Now, their series could be over. No Steph in the last two games, or actually the last three. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm right. No Steph in the last three games. Anthony Edwards, he's been on tear. He put up 36 points in Game 3. Game 4 last night, he put up 30. His halftime talk was infectious. His halftime talk was infectious, man. And that's why the Wolves can depend on him. And that's why the Wolves can say, you know what? We love our leader in Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is becoming more of a leader than what John Morant is in Memphis. You see, right now in Memphis, they want Ja to be a leader. But if he can't lead his own team into the second round further than that, then we're not considering John Morant a leader. And I say that because a lot of people think that John Morant's a leader. Like, he's better than Anthony Edwards, and he's not. Ant has been in these playoff games. Ant has more playoff wins than what these young players can combine. And so, Ant Minnesota cannot screw this up. When Ant gets to Supermax, they cannot let him walk. They can't let him walk. And so last night, Minnesota has shown their strength on defense. Look at the numbers. 93 in game 2, 99 in game 1. They lost that game. 93 in game 2, 97 in game 3, and 110 in game 4. Minnesota's strength is their defense. They'll defend you to the T. And this is why their defense will probably win the West. It might win the West. But then again, game 5 is going to be a little tougher. And so, but for game 5 tomorrow night, will Steph play? Again, we're playing doctor. Shams said Steph is going to miss a week. Okay, Shams, you can't play doctor and report at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. Who are you? Are you a reporter or are you a doctor? Because you're not a doctor. You can't report shit like that. I need a doctor that can say that was athletes' hamstring injuries that have said, okay, Steph is going to be out for this amount of time. We need that. We need a doctor on ESPN. We don't need Shams reporting this nonsensical stuff. And then you got to take Minnesota out of their element. Minnesota loves to drive to the basket. They love to. That's the only thing. It could be Ant going off. It could be Julius Randle going off. It could be Jaden McDaniels going off. Heck, even Rudy Gobert might go off. And so the Warriors cannot find a way to defend Ant in this series. Steve Kerr has tried, but it's not enough. You don't have enough guys that can defend one-on-one with Ant Edwards. There's not enough guys. Even Julius Randle is dominating the paint. You can ask Draymond to do a lot of things, but Draymond, I need Draymond to defend Randle. I need for him to do that, and stop going after the weakest player in the court in Rudy Gobert. You got to stop. You got to be man enough to defend Julius Randle. You got to be not only man enough to guard Randle, you got to be able to help off drives. If Ant Edwards is coming downhill your way, you got to be the last line of defense and not tackle people. Because people think you're dirty, and honestly, you're halfway. To me, it's a little suspect. To me. So, and then who runs the offense in the lineup for the Warriors? Because they don't have that. They don't have the offense to run the line, which is why you're seeing the scores increase. Which is why you're seeing the Warriors struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle until they get their leader back on offense and Steph. Steph opens up the floor for everyone. And then we haven't heard from Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler, this is a game for him. This is a game for Jimmy Butler. This is why you got him off the trade. And now you're down 3-1. Was a chance to go home tomorrow night. You got to find something that works. And then here's more Draymond stuff. So when Draymond picked up a technical foul, I think it was in game 2. He picked up a technical foul in game 2. He said this when he picked up a game 2 technical foul. Let's play that Draymond clip, please. Draymond Green clip, please.
Very successful, educated black man with a great family. Okay. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Okay, so you heard what Draymond has said. Okay. Now now this is all the race thing. This is all race. You got white people saying that, saying to us that we should change as black men or women. I seen it before. I seen it firsthand. I'm like, I seen black men become, black men and women become acting white. And I'm like, no. You need to show your real authentic self. If they don't like you, then they should be around you. Draymond, half of the league doesn't like you. The league office does not like your game, even though the league office has guys that played in the 80s and 90s and 2000s respectively that dealt with this physical play. They dealt with that. Was Draymond's play over his career? Even Rodman has not done that. And Rodman grabbed every rebound. Rodman made his antics Rodman's antics. Draymond makes his own antics. When he took down Dante DiVincenzo last night in the wrestling on a wrestling move, I said, "Hey, this is too much." And I love Draymond. I'm not trying to make him act white. Act your authentic self. You are successful. You have 4 championships. They don't get those. You don't get those 4 championships without your physical play. Without that, people are saying you should change, and don't change for them. Don't change for them. It got to the point where Steve Kerr just let it go. Steve Kerr tried. Steve Kerr just let it go. Steve Kerr said when they asked the question after Game 2 about, okay, what did you see the Draymond play? He tried to ignore it because he mentioned it numerous times over the last few years. And so, what do you do with a guy that gets 5 technical fouls? You only need 2 to be suspended, but has 3 flagrant fouls, penalty 1s. You only need 2 to be suspended. So, I don't know. I that quote was great by Draymond. I like the fact that he's shown his authentic self. He's been successful. He don't need to be in the league longer than he should, and we're going to miss that physicality when he decides to hang it up. But but here's the thing. I voted Draymond to be the defensive player of the year. Why do you give it to Evan Mobley? Evan Mobley has not done anything in this league. Draymond has done a lot. The way he defends people that are like 5 inches taller than him is phenomenal, and that will never go away. Well, that will never go unnoticed. This is why the Warriors will always be in the playoffs, because of his play. Now, Minnesota has shown their strength on defense. Will Randle keep this momentum up? I love what Julius Randle has been doing. I think there was a piece last week that I saw. Julius Randle, I seen he's comfortable in Minnesota more than he's comfortable in New York. I think in New York the pressure was coming too much of him, but I do see the calmness in Julius Randle. Being a family man, I do see the calmness in him. He just needed to go to another team that has a great feel for the team that can get further than what the Knicks have that the Knicks have shown him. And so it's a lot. Julius Randle cannot be stopped in this series, and their defense is key. So Minnesota wins the thing tomorrow night. There's no doubt about it. I think Steph plays, but it's not enough. Now let's play that Draymond Green clip, please, where he apologizes, but he doesn't need an apology. So let's play that Draymond clip, please.
I was quite a bit frustrated and very careful of. Didn't want to get myself fined, but more so say something and make it sound like an excuse when you struggle and lose. And I didn't come up here and talk, and I felt like a coward when I got home, so I wanted to apologize to y'all for that.
So anyways, I'm glad he apologized for that, because, I'm not glad, because he could have just not apologized and just stayed home, and we're okay with not hearing from him. We're okay with not hearing from these athletes that don't want to speak. You realize, I read something yesterday. I read, and this goes to my other point that we're going to talk about after the break. In the WNBA, do you realize they have a rule that you have to talk to the media? It's mandatory before and after the game, and it's just too much. It's like if a WNBA player shows some type of frustration like that, why would I want to talk? Why would I want to ask them a question? Or passion like that? Why would I want to ask them a question? Let them go challenge their feelings. Let them go do those things. I'm not going to ask a player a question. And what Draymond did, I mean, I respect it for being a man about it. But why do we need to feel the need to go talk to the media? Media members have to be okay with that. They have to be okay with players who are passionate about the game, not talking about the media, especially a loss like that. And I thought that rule was crazy. But I'm not in that realm, so whatever. All right, so game number 3, the Cavaliers and the Pacers here. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to recap game 4. The Pacers are up 3-1. They overwhelmed the Cavaliers to 129-109. Obviously, the Cavaliers don't want to fight. The Cavaliers don't have the fight in them. You won the regular season. You said the Cavs. Everyone said the Cavs over Boston. No. Okay. The Cavaliers are just a regular season team. Dude, you had 41 points at halftime. Well, actually, you had 39 points at halftime. You were down by 41 at halftime. And then Mitchell leaves the game with an ankle injury. Now, Mitchell does not play all the games. Okay? He does not play in every game during the season. He does not. And then Hunter, 5 points in 16 minutes, but he gets Bennett, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Now, what happened was they were chirping back and forth during the series. I never want fights to happen after the game. What DeAndre did was uncalled for. I thought DeAndre would be ejected. They ejected Margarine for basically a punch to the chest of Hunter. And so I half agree with it, but not all the way. Now, DeAndre, when someone pokes you, when someone says, intimidates you, let me use that word. When someone intimidates you, you have to go off. You have to play a little bit better than you should. Right now, you haven't done that. What was the point of that trade when we traded for you to be a three-point shooter? We traded for you to be effective on the offensive end when Mitchell was going, or Garland is going downhill and kicks it out to you for a three. We depended on you to defend Tyrese Halliburton. I don't expect you to guard Andrew Neymar or Pascal Siakam. Those guys are dark horses. Actually, all of them, the Pacers are dark horses. The Pacers don't have a leader scorer on their team or a superstar on the team that we heavily talked about. There's nobody in the media that's saying, okay, we got to stop Tyrese today. We got to stop Pascal today. We got to stop Andrew Nembhard today. There's nobody. The Pacers are a bunch of guys that have will and heart, and that's why they're tough to beat. So, was DeAndre Hunter's foolishness? I did not like the fact that we can go fight back there. Fight for what? You're not going back. No one is fighting in 2025. The only fight you should be is on the court. And I don't mean throwing hands. I mean fighting for 48 minutes, crawling, grabbing every rebound, attacking every loose ball. That's the fight that you should have. Not with your hands, with your mind. Now, Pascal Siakam had 21 points and 6 rebounds. The Indiana Pacers, like I said, they don't have any superstars on their team. They beg to differ. But it's true. They have no superstars on the team, but they beat you with their toughness. Now, Game 5 is tonight, okay? For Cleveland, you got to get back in transition. This game's in what's it called? This game's in Cleveland. So the Pacers could win this game in Cleveland. Mitchell. Who's going to take over if Mitchell's out? Now, Mitchell, I'm going to criticize him to the core if he sits out tonight. Then it questions me. I question him of, is he a superstar? Because superstars don't sit out like that. Especially when your team is facing elimination. You're not going to sit out tonight. You sat out 29 games this season for injuries. That means you're not taking care of your body like you should for an 82-game regular season. So the Cavaliers are done tonight, if Mitchell plays or not. And then where's the fight? You talk about fighting after the game. Fight for 48 minutes. Fight when it counts. Don't go out there and say we're gonna fight in the street. What? For what? No one's fighting in the street in 2025. Indiana, you gotta stay physical on defense. That's Indiana's scouting report. Offense is the challenge. Indiana has scored 120 plus points in this series, all 4 games. No, I'm sorry. During those 4 games, they have scored 120 plus points. Usually, like when they score 120 plus points, they usually win. So I expect the Pacers to get that spot tonight. The pressure's on Cleveland. You know, Cleveland won 64 games in the regular season, or 63, whatever. They won 60 games. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure how. But where's the fight? You fought all regular season. What's it going to be? And then my last and final preview, number 4, is the Thunder and the Nuggets. This is 2-2. You know, I chose the Nuggets to win in Game 7. You know, it could come to true. We'll see how this series goes tonight. Usually when you win Game 5, usually when you win Game 5, you win the series about 82% of the time. And so the Thunder won Game 4, despite Shai Gilgeous going for 25, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. They kept it balanced. I was trying to figure out why he was laughing after Game 3. Well, again, fans poked the bear. And that's what he did. So, fans poked the bear. But in Game 5 preview, Jokic has to find a way to stay in shape. I don't think he's out of shape. Not like out of shape. I think he's out of in-game shape. I think he's a little tired. They got to be physical early, Denver, and then they gotta figure out a way to stop Shai Gilgeous. They got to find a way to stop Shai Gilgeous. Once you stop Shai Gilgeous, everybody else is stopped. Or better yet, you make others beat you. You make Jalen Williams beat you. You make Chet beat you. You make Isaiah Hartenstein beat you. Out of all the things, Alex Caruso beat you. So it's going to be tough for Denver tonight. But honestly, I do think they'll win. I do think they'll win this series. I'm not sure about winning Game 5, but if they'll surprise me tonight if they win Game 5. Let's say that. And then OKC, you got to keep hacking the paint against Jokic. You know, Jokic is tired. I think he's out of it. If Jokic can find a way to get some energy and find a way to get some rest, then it'll be it'll be beneficial for him. Chet has to be great if Shai does not have a good game. Chet Holmgren has to be great. I know Chet shows his weakness all the time. You know, this guy is like skinny to the bone, but he shows a lot of weakness. And then Jalen Williams is averaging 19 points a game, and while shooting 37%. So the Thunder have done their job defensively, trying to defend him. Not the Thunder, I'm sorry. The Nuggets have done their job defensively, trying to defend him, which they have done. And so this series here is one of the best series in all the NBA right now, as far as the second round goes. But then we do have some good second round games. It's just this series is a defensive battle. And then the last thing, who shoots threes better? I remember Alex Caruso. I remember him as a Laker. You know, I remember him when LeBron kicked it out to him for those 3-point shots that he was making in the finals. That literally sparked the Lakers' run to a championship in 2020. And so with him, His role is different. He's defending Jokic. He's defending Aaron Gordon. He's all over the place. Peyton Watson needs to be Alex Caruso tonight, because they're not extending the bench tonight. I don't think Denver's not. And if they lose this series, which I think that Denver may, even though I chose them to win in Game 7, you got to question the depth of where Denver is if they lose this series. Now, I wish everybody the best tonight as far as the series goes. We'll see what happens in the next coming days. Does Cleveland go home? If Cleveland does go home or Indiana goes home, we'll have an off-season preview no matter what next week. No matter what, we're going to have that off-season preview. And plus, we might have an Eastern Conference, Western Conference preview next week as well. But we get to the draft lottery last night. Last night, it felt like a championship. Where were you when the Mavericks got the first pick in the NBA draft for next month? The Mavericks were celebrating. Nico Harrison had the biggest celebration of all. It's like he got the monkey off his back. No pun intended. After trading Luka, now you get the number 1 pick. As the order it goes to last night, it felt like nobody gave a crap about making the postseason, about winning a championship at that draft lottery last night. I saw, who did I see last night? I saw Miss Johnson, who had the most serious face. I saw Charles Lee, who had the second most serious face. But then again, I saw the Hornets Instagram page talking about, okay, we didn't want to win the number 1 pick. We want the number 1 pick. And I responded to the Hornets Instagram page. I said, dude, you cannot be in this position every single year. You realize that you guys are the worst organization in American history. Even the 47th president in the United States cannot touch this, cannot save y'all as being the worst franchise in American history. And yet you're saying that the draft system is flawed. You're flawed for being in that position. You're flawed for having 2 fuckers on your team who have not only a domestic violence case, but somebody that shot and killed someone. They're on your team. And you don't have the audacity to get rid of them. And they're franchise changers. They're in the league because of Adam Silver's softness. But yet you say the draft system is flawed. You're flawed. And then you got the 76ers. I don't think Joel Embiid is going to play past 33 years old. If he plays past 33 years old, I will run a marathon outside if he does. Because this man is going to complain about another injury next season, and it's going to be deja vu again and again and again. And then we question, what are you doing while you're hurt? Well, that's a good one. What are you doing while you're hurt? I just don't like the fact that these guys don't have the mentality to win, to win a championship. Not only win a championship, but to be in the playoffs, literally. And I know I was semi-excited about the Spurs because the Spurs got 2 picks in the first round. They got the second pick, and they got the 14th pick. I think, honestly, I'm okay with that. I would say we were robbed, but I'm okay with the second and the 14th pick. I don't want to trade our picks. I want to keep our picks there. The future is in that draft. I think this is the last draft we're going to be irrelevant. Now, as the Mavericks goes, here's what's happening right now. We got this one Mavericks fan right here. Okay? I'm pretty sure he was happy that we got the number 1 pick. Okay? That doesn't mean Cooper Flag. That doesn't mean that at all. Everybody's posting, oh, we got Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag matches up with Derek Lively and Anthony Davis and Klay Thompson and Kyrie. Okay, first of all, let's slow the brakes down. Let's slow it down a little bit. Okay? Kyrie Irving is not going to play a game until January. Klay Thompson couldn't find his shooting this past season. Cooper Flagg at almost 19 years old is legit. Anthony Davis is not playing 82 games. Derek Lively is coming off a major foot injury. What makes you think that the Mavericks have a chance to win in 2025, 2026? What makes you think that? And everybody's posting, oh, Cooper Flagg this, Cooper Flagg that. I know he's a star. But damn, let the man get drafted first, and then you can start putting your comparisons there. Like I said, Anthony Davis won't play past 35 years old. If you're talking about a championship window, Derek Lively is coming off major foot surgery. Klay Thompson has to find his shooting. Kyrie is not playing until January. Now, the lineup will look great in January when Kyrie comes back. But let's slow down. He's 19. He's 18. Let him experience this. You acted like he got drafted last night. He didn't. Nico was jumping for joy. They saved his ass last night. And the foolishness, this is what foolishness is. I think Jay Williams has been on TV way too long this postseason. Because for a time there, he wasn't on TV a lot. This is the BS that he said this morning. So let's play that clip, please.
I like Cooper Flagg. I think he needs reps. I think he needs a lot of room to grow. I'm not sure championship aspirations right away for him. Yes. Now, look, the basketball part of me loves the thought of AD, Cooper Flagg, Derek Lively in the backcourt, right? But when I look at the value, could you potentially package something like this to get a Giannis? Could you package on a one-on-one trade to get a Devin Booker? Could you get a Tyrese Maxey? If your championship window is in 2 to 3 years, could you utilize that pick and some assets to get somebody who's ready to contribute to you right now with the pressure in the West Coast?
What are you doing, Al? What are you drinking? What do you got?
That's the foolishness. Yes, I disagree. I'm not trading that first round pick. I'm not trading that first pick. If I'm the Mavericks, I'm not trading that first pick. Okay. This situation proves great for the Mavericks. Excuse me. If you want to win a championship, you add Cooper Flagg on your team. This is a major upgrade. He's better than Luka. You laugh. You laugh. He is. He's better than Luka as far as the basketball conditioning goes. He is. And people in Dallas will forget about Luka. They will forget about him. Because you know why? Because Cooper is more ready at 19 years old than Luka was. He is. He is. Now, they said Washington. Washington has the 6th pick, right? Let me tell y'all something about Washington. Washington is one of those worst teams in the league. Again, I told y'all that the Washington Mystics, the Washington not the Washington Commanders. I said they're not the worst organization in the league. I'm not going to say the Washington Commanders are the worst organization in the league. The Washington Wizards are. Can't you imagine Cooper Flagg in that jersey, that ugly jersey that the Wizards have worn? The Wizards don't have any structure in their franchise. It starts with their ownership. Their owner can, listen, let me tell y'all about the Commanders owner. The Commanders owner stepped down, Dan Snyder. He said, nah, I'll give it to Josh Harris. Josh Harris did his job. This is why Washington Commanders are one of the legitimate franchises in NFL history. Because Dan Snyder took a step aside. The Wizards and the Mystics, owned by the same guy, has to learn from the ownership of the Washington Commanders. That should lit a fire in you. The Washington Commanders have now found their guy in JD5. I don't know how long. I don't know how much. I don't know where he's going to take them, but they found their guy. They tried RG3. They tried Kirk Cousins. None of those guys were legit. They even tried Sam Hartman. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not it. Sorry. Yeah. They tried Sam Howell. They said Sam Howell's not it. And so you got to find a franchise player in this draft. The Wizards have not found that. They were hoping for the number one pick last night. Cooper Flag does not want to go to a loser franchise. A franchise that makes sense is the Mavericks and the Spurs. The Mavericks and the Spurs are right there. I know you laughed that the Spurs have been rebuilding, but the Spurs need one more player. One more player that will say, you know what, we can get to the playoffs for years and years and years to come. We got Wemby healthy. We may get Giannis, who knows. I'm not giving up our pieces to get one player. I don't want to. I don't have the energy to. Like, if Giannis wants to come in to San Antonio, he can. But it's got to make sense to the organization. With the Mavericks, if the Mavericks want Giannis, you trade your number one pick. If you say your championship window is 2 to 3 years, you trade your number one pick. But Cooper Flag is in the best situation possible. He could be the face of Dallas. Actually, Paige Beckers will be the face of Dallas. You laugh again. It's going to happen. And so, to me, these organizations, the Washington Wizards, the Charlotte Hornets, they were thinking that they want the number one pick. What are you going to do with the number one pick? You got to remember that your organization is garbage. Your organization can't keep LaMelo Ball healthy. I blame down LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is not a superstar to me. I haven't seen any greatness from him. He's not. And Washington Wizards, I just see a team filled with desperation. I see a team that will break down in years. And so, with that being said, we'll see what happens next month. Cooper Flag is the most sought name in the draft. I don't like the fact that most of those guys were smiling last night. Most of those guys were not in the position to win a championship. And I hope this draft lottery, I hope this is the last time you're in this thing. I'm not talking about the Charlotte Hornets or the Washington Wizards. I'm talking about the Philly, the Spurs, and the Mavericks. You guys were legitimate playoff teams for many, many years. We packed the stadium because of you. And you're in this position because of poor ownership. The Spurs are in this position because not only poor ownership, but their team, the identity of their team. The Mavericks are in this position because of poor ownership. Nico Harrison got saved, and now he's going to be there for years to come and probably screw it up even more. Philly is there because of Joel Embiid can't stay on the court. At some point, you got to make a decision. This is a make-or-break year for Dora Morley. You got to make a decision. If Joel can't stay healthy, you got to move on from him. You got to release him. Because he's obviously not the franchise. He's the problem. So we'll see what happens next month as far as the draft goes. And we'll preview the draft as it goes on. And we might even throw in a combine. I want to see how guys do with the vertical, was 5-on-5 play. I want to see what guys do in those rounds when I watch the combine. Now, coming up next, let's preview the WNBA. We got a lot to preview on, from the team's season previews to what's going to happen in the regular season. So let's review all that next. It's Beyond the Game on Fishbowl Radio.
Fast asleep, you stay on the phone just to hear me breathe. See, we got the mirror on the ceiling. You're in the mood to please me. I've been feeling freaky deaky. You're on your way to see in the mood to please me.
My little shorty always on time. I pick you up, come outside, take you for a ride. Body like December. Don't on summertime. Take off the top. Sweet Caroline. Meet my jeweler, put ice on that. Yeah. 2 diamond chains, what's the price on that? When you work, what you work, I invest in that. Yeah. Itty bitty waist, but your so fat. Let me slide in and Wayne Gretzky. Let me see it bounce like a jet ski. Hey, I know you wishing he was like me. Late night calling me for some good.
Please me, yeah.
Back it up. I wanna see you back it up.
Ceiling, you're in the mood to please me. I've been feeling freaky deaky. You're on your way to see me. Yeah, on the ceiling, you're in the mood to please me.
Back it up. I wanna see you back it up.
Feeling freaky deaky. Tiger, I told you, let's go out.
Said all I want from you is to see you tomorrow. And every tomorrow, maybe you're letting me borrow your heart. And is it too much to ask for every Sunday? Every other day to start. I know people make promises all the time, and they turn right around and break them. And someone cuts your heart open with a knife, now you're bleeding. But I could be that guy to heal it over time, and I won't stop until you believe it. 'Cause baby, you're worth it. So don't act like it's a bad thing to fall in love. So don't act like it's a bad thing to fall in love. Be the last voice you hear tonight, for the rest of the nights that there are. Every morning, I just wanna see you staring back at me. 'Cause I know that's a good place to start. I know people make promises all the time, and they turn right around to me. 'Cause you might look around and find your dreams come true with me. Spend all your time and your money just to find out that my love was free. So don't act like it's a bad thing to fall in love. It's not a bad thing to fall in love. Not such a bad thing to fall in love. No, I won't fill your mind. Broken promises and wasted time. And if you go, you'll always land right in these arms of mine. Don't act like it's a bad thing to fall in love with me. 'Cause you might look around and find your dreams come true with me. Spend all your time and your money just to find out that my love is free. So don't act like it's a bad thing to fall in love with me. It's not a bad thing to fall in love with me. Not such a bad thing to fall in love with me.
Welcome back to the Beyond the Game podcast on Fishbowl Radio. My name is Jamie, and the WNBA season starts in the next 3 days. Okay? So the last preseason game happened last night against the Toyota Antelopes and the New York Liberty at Sarita Descu's hometown, former College of Oregon. Obviously, the Liberty won. No big deal about that. But the preseason's over. Now the regular season's here. It's going to be a long one, guys. It's going to be a long regular season, 44 games. Let's see, a lot of teams, a lot of storylines. The rookies, Caitlin Clark. There's going to be an ongoing fight between Caitlin Clark and the face of the league and the fan base. Because the fan base wants to point Caitlin Clark as the number one player in the league, thinking that she grows the league, she gets it going. Not the case. all the stuff that the WNBA is doing right now, the new TV deals and all that stuff, that's not Caitlin Clark. That's the players that's coming up. And more players will come up in years to come. And so, no, it has nothing to do with Caitlin. They could have done this stuff in 1997 when they were or every year when the season was coming about. And so, with that being said, we previewed the teams. We gave you Chicago Sky last week. Let's give you the Sparks this week. So the Sparks had a record of 8-32 last year. Okay. New coach Lynn Roberts comes from Utah. She inserts a motion type offense. Not sure if Cam Brake's going to be the feature one. I know they got Kelsey Plum. That's a big plus. And so, but the thing about it is can Brink get healthy? That's the big question. Again, Kelsey Plum, a lot of championship experience, a lot of playoff experiences to a young team. The starting lineup for me is Odyssey Sims, Kelsey Plum, Rickea Jackson, Azariah Stevens, Derricka Hamby. Derricka Hamby is the vet. Stevens is the vet. Plum is the vet. Sims is the vet. Rickea Jackson is in only her second season. I wonder if Lynn Roberts is going to try to feature Jackson more in the offense. I know Kurt Miller's struggle was that last year. But let's see. Let's see a new coach comes in and just tries to change some things. I noticed that Latu King was released. I'll speak to that. I'll speak more on that release in a second. But AI is predicting that the Sparks will go 24-20. So that means that could be the A spot for the Sparks. The Sparks just need to be consistent. I know Cam Brink, the second pick in last year's draft, is coming off a major knee injury. And I know she's not going to be as effective as before. You hope that she gives you something. You hope that at some point it has to turn into something good than great. Right? I hope so. Maybe she finds a way to get into the starting line, but it's baby steps. You got to remember, she's coming off a major injury. So it's tough. The Seattle Storm preview, they went 25-15 last year. They went to the playoffs. Nicole Quinn's in her sixth season. Now remember, this team suffered an unusual loss in Austin and Drew Lloyd to the Sparks. Now Drew Lloyd went to WNBA officials and said, "Hey, this is happening in our organization." The league investigated it, and it was nothing. After that investigation, Drew Lloyd wanted out. They traded her to the Aces. The Aces, it was a big trade. The Sparks, I'm not sure who the Sparks got. Actually, they got Kelsey Plum. But the Storm got, who they got? I'm looking at my notes now. They got Lee Yaru and Lexi Brown. Now, those two players will make a big difference in their roster. So let's see their starting lineup, their potential starting lineup for the regular season. Skylar Diggins, Erica Wheeler are my two guards. Skylar Diggins, we cannot call her the guy Skylar Diggins Smith anymore. You got to call her Skylar Diggins, her Notre Dame days. Fortunately, their marriage is over, according to some. I'm not even going to tap into that. It is what it is. I'm going to call it Skylar Diggins. Alicia Clark is I don't know how much she wants to play again. I'm not sure. It's supposed to be Gabby Williams, but Gabby Williams has other international commits. And so you hope that Gabby Williams comes in and comes back from wherever she's at and is inserted into the starting lineup. And then this is the difficult one. You got Neko Bumake, and you got Ezzy. You got Ezzy Magador. Now, Ezzy is the starting center. along with the second pick is Dominique Nah, I can't pronounce her name. She's from Australia. She's from France. They call her the French Wimby. Will she play? That's the question. And then their projected record is 20 wins. Can they win 20 wins? Can they win 20 games? I have them as the last team standing. Because I feel like this is a make or break year for Nicole Quinn. You know, you lose your best player in Jewel. You lose your top assistant to going back to college. I can't remember his name. Then you keep Pokey Chapman. Pokey Chapman is the calmness of the organization. When Nicole Quinn is out of line, Pokey's there to keep everything in line. Like, she's like the mama figure of the organization. And that's why you can't, when you have a Pokey Chapman's been in the league for a very long time. When she's out of this league, there's a problem. She's been everywhere. She's coached everywhere. When you don't have a Pokey Chapman in your organization, it means everything falls apart. The reason why Nicole Quinn is there is because of Pokey Chapman. Pokey Chapman is one of the best people in the organization. In the league. That's why she's there. When you lose her, it all falls apart. Nicole Quinn doesn't have a job anymore. If Pokey decides to move on, Nicole Quinn gets fired. Which this is not the case. I think Seattle fights. I think Seattle bounces back. I never seen a season that a player had a problem, was an organization, and then bounced back. Seattle could be that story. Number 4, the Atlanta Dream. Atlanta Dream went 15-25 last year. Carl Samoko is their new head coach. He brings a lot of basketball experience. I think they hired him off of basketball experience. Not necessarily fit for the culture that Atlanta is building, but he's there for the culture. But he's there. Brittany Griner, Brianna Jones, and Satori Walker-Kimball are the free agents that the Dream have. Will the team improve? You know, I was watching it recently. I was watching a preseason game of the Atlanta Dream recently. I'm saying to myself, this team did not improve. They got new players, but that's the only thing they improved on. I just don't think they have an offensive system. I'm not necessarily saying they'll be out of the playoffs. It's got to change. You went from mediocrity and now you're trying to be relevant. This has to be playoffs after playoffs after playoffs that will turn into a championship soon. If you fire a coach. Last year, it was, I can't remember her name. It doesn't really matter. She didn't have the consistency of the players. She didn't have the mindset of the players, even though she was a former player. Tanisha Wright. Yeah, Tanisha Wright. I don't know what changed. I don't know what will change. I'm not sure. Brittany Griner said she wanted out of Phoenix, and she got her wish. Signed a 1-year deal with the Dream. I'm interested to see what happens with Brittany Griner. Everybody's raving that she can shoot from the outside. Okay, that's great. But what about the dominance down low? I thought that's what you got Brittany Griner for to do. I thought that you got Brianna Jones to do that as well. They work well with each other in the lineup, along with Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard. Those players don't have to do the dirty work. That's why Brittany Griner and Jones is there to do that work, which is why their lineup consists of Jordan Canada, Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, Brianna Jones, and Brittany Griner. Will this dream be good? Will this team be good? Would it be better than last year? I'm not sure it will be better than last year, but it remains to be seen. Excuse me. Yeah, so it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen last year. What will improve? What will improve for the Dream? The Dream, again, new coach, goes atmosphere. We'll see what happens. Excuse me. Thank you. Excuse me. All right. The Phoenix Mercury is my next team. They went 19-21 last year. Excuse me. Excuse me. The Phoenix Mercury, Phoenix Mercury is there as my next team. Yeah, Terrasi, no longer in the organization. Brendan Grinder, no longer in the organization. Sophie Cunningham, no longer in the organization. Natasha Cloud, no longer in the organization. So what do you have? Nate Tibbetts in his second season. He's not even the best coach in the league. I honestly think he's on the chopping block. I don't think he can coach. Satu Sabali, Alyssa Thomas, and Sam Wilkham on the new players. You know, Satu came from Dallas. I thought she wasn't getting recognition in Dallas. I thought they featured more Enrique, more than Satu. Excuse me. Satu was the one. Satu left because Satu wasn't featured in offense. But then again, you were hurt. So why are you complaining that you weren't featured in the offense? And then and how do you replace the legend? How do you replace the legend in Deanna Taurasi? It's tough. It's tough. But my lineup is Savra Yuza, another player from Dallas. Kalia Copper has not played in the preseason. Natasha Satu Sabali, Natasha Mack, and Alyssa Thomas. They didn't go through the draft this year, which is why this team could rebuild. This team needs a miracle to win this year. I don't think this team's going to win this year. I think this team's going to win at least 14 games. That will be the chopping block for Nate Tibbetts. They didn't do enough to win this year. I know Alyssa Thomas is great. You know, going across the country to Phoenix is great. But what makes you think that the Phoenix Mercury have a chance to go to the postseason this year? There's no chance. Now, I say that to say that we got a new team in the Golden State Valkyries. They're the 13th newest team in the league. Natalie Nasaka is the first-year head coach. First Asian American born in the history of the WNBA as a coach. From the Aces last year, the last few years. The ceiling for the Aces, the ceiling for the Valkyries is just make it interesting. Just make it interesting. My projected starting lineup is Veronica Burton, Tiffany Hayes, Kayla Thornton, Monique Millsy, and Tammy Fongagbole, if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Players who may make a difference is Kate Martin, Caitlin Chen, Magna Torre, who's the French girl who had 19 points against Mercury. She makes the team. And Stephanie Talbot, who's injured right now. You got to keep pace with today's game, and the Jersey Championship starts now. Remember in that news conference that Natalie said that her championship win those 5 years? Well, give this team a draft pick. And I think next year and the following year's draft pick, we'll see a change. We'll see a change in where the Valkyries want to go with, who the Valkyries want to draft and want to feature as their number one franchise player, because, again, they're a new franchise. You know, you set the record pace for the fan base is great, but your championship window starts now. If you want to do it in 5 years, it starts now. Number 2, the Connecticut Sun preview. Now, this one is very interesting. I was thinking rebuild, but when I watched against the Liberty last night, I don't think that they're rebuilding. I think they'll fight for the playoff spot. Their new coach is Rashid Madeline, or whatever his name is. Mezid. He's a Belgium coach. As of yesterday, breaking news, and also on Sunday they signed Bree Hartley. And also, as of yesterday, they're looking to relocate because a bunch of investors bought the team, and now now they want the team out of Connecticut to another city. It's another city that makes sense. And here's my take on the cities that make sense. Austin, St. Louis, Kansas City, Detroit. Remember, Austin has the investors of Kevin Durant and Fran Harris. St. Louis has Jason Tatum, who is from St. Louis. Kansas City has Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes has a soccer team in Kansas City, but he wants to own a WNBA team in the Midwest. The WNBA team used to have Detroit and the Cleveland Rockers. Another team in the Midwest is not bad. And then you got Detroit. Detroit, if you watch the Pistons the Lions and Detroit, the Lions and the Pistons fan bases in this year alone, and in 2024 alone, you realize it is tripled. You realize that city is on the rise. Now, you can say Michigan football, but Detroit Lions, Detroit Pistons, they're on the rise. You could add a team like the Detroit Shock there. Did you remember the Detroit Shock? In 2008, they won the championship. They won the WNBA championship. Girl Ford, Deanna Nolan. I saw her recently. She looks good. I saw Deanna Nolan look recently. I did not know she had gray hair because I haven't seen her in years. So, yeah, Cheryl Ford. Remember, Detroit is legit in their cities. Well, you could put another team in that city because the fan base will triple. But it's only early. There's going to be a lot of fight to keep the team in Connecticut. You're not being successful being in Connecticut. That's UConn. UConn's successful there. That's why everyone leaves. But I do think a team in the Midwest will work. I think another team in Texas will work as well. Austin. But they probably have to change their name. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Remember, there's a team in Toronto and Portland for next season. So we still have teams up north. We do. So we'll see. My projected starting lineup is Jason Sheldon, Lindsey Allen, Marina Mayberry, Tina Charles, and Olivia Nilsson-Ododo. This team, outside Jason Sheldon, are veteran players. They're going to win this year. Not necessarily the championship, but they're going to win this year. And then you got Nisha Moore, who is injured right now, has an ankle. She suffered an ankle injury in, I think in March. Yeah, in March. But she's hurt right now. Once she gets in the fold, this team's going to be legit. So we'll see where they replace this year. Now, my last and final team is the Washington Mystics, 14-26 in 2024. Sydney Johnston, the former Sky assistant, is the new head coach. Jamala Wilman is the GM, the new GM. Their franchise is going to be interesting. There's no Georgia Amore. She has a torn ACL. She tore it in practice. Aaliyah Edwards is out. Was a back injury. Sonia Centron, Kiki Infere are the rookies on the team outside of Georgia Amore. Shakira Austin is not healthy. I don't think she will ever stay healthy. I'm not saying her career is over, but you gotta understand that you're hurt all the time, Shakira. What makes you think you could be the face of the franchise? And to think that you have a chance to play in the regular season. You had all the offseason to get ready, and yet you're still hurt. You're sitting out games like crazy. This is why the Mystics need a franchise shift. Because your franchise leader, supposedly, is not Shakira Austin. It could be Aaliyah Edwards. It could be Georgia Amore. We don't know who owns the Mystics. This is why they're going to lose this year. And I'm sorry to Sydney Johnson and Jamila, who just got there. They're trying to change the franchise. I understand. But you don't have your main players there. El Deldon retired is not walking out that window today to save your franchise. She is not. So you gotta take care of your bodies individually. I just don't know how do you play in the unrivaled league and yet you're still sitting out heading into the regular season. That's not leadership. That is selfishness. But here's my starting lineup. Jade Milburn, the Australian chick, 22 years old. Sonia Cintron, is she ready? Brittany Sykes. So I guess they're going with a 3-guard lineup. But then again, Brittany Sykes is the veteran. Brittany Sykes. Do you go to the organization and say, hey, I want out. I want out. You guys are not improving anything. I want out. And then you got Emily Exeter, who did shine last year. I think she's filling out the spot for it when Aaliyah Edwards comes back. And then you got Stephanie Dolson, the veteran of the group. So this is a monument rebuild. Kind of like the Wizards, they need new ownership. The Commanders, like I said, went from Dan Snyder to Josh Harris. And you see the results. And so if the owners of the Mystics and the Commanders can make a change, can they do it right now? You're going to lose fans. Fans will be fans of other teams' assets. But you're going to lose sponsorships if you can't win. If you can't win with the pieces that you have, you're going to lose sponsors. And the WNBA is not going to allow you to do that. You got to win right now. I don't think they're missing anything. Someone talked about a guard thing this morning. I don't think they have a guard issue. I think they have an identity issue. They could draft a lot of guards all they want, but it's like who's the next person that's going to step up type of thing. Now, here's my MVP candidates this year according to myself. Now, ESPN, obviously, did their justice of rating Caitlin Clark as the #1 MVP offensive as the MVP player. Of course, they're going to do that. You allow ESPN to do that for their audience. Here's mine. Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Nafisa Collard, Brianna Stewart, Angel Reese, and Enrique Ubunwale. Now, Asia Wilson is a 3-time champ, okay? Or is it 2-time champ? Whatever it is, she's won championships. Caitlin Clark has not won a championship. Caitlin Clark is a great player. I wish her the best this season. I think she's going to have a great, phenomenal season. I don't think it gets her an MVP award. You got to look elsewhere. Nafisa Collard has done it. You talk about a rival league. You talk about putting the Minnesota Lynx in finals position again last season. That could happen this season. I mean, she's primed to win one. I think she got robbed. Brianna Stewart. Another one. You can't forget about Stewie. You can't ever forget about Stewie. Then you got Angel Reese. Angel Reese, they're asking her to play point guard. I'm not sure why you ask your franchise player to play point guard. I mean, again, I'm highly against that. You're not desperate. You just drafted a guard out of TCU. Why do I have my franchise player playing the point guard position? I hate that. Haley Van Lith is ready for the spotlight. I don't like this idea. I think it's a terrible idea. Everybody complained last year that Angel Reese couldn't finish down low. And now, y'all in agreement that she should play point guard. Why? She's not that player. Play your position. You went 15, 16 straight games of doubles. And now they're asking you to play point guard. Why? Courtney Vanderson is enough. Haley Van Lith is enough. Play your position. If you shoot 50+%, then yes, you can play the point guard. But you're not there yet. You haven't won anything. You didn't even make the postseason last year. Play your position, Angel. I'm rooting for you. All those motherfuckers don't care about you. They care about Caitlin Clark. They want you to be like her. I want you to be you. Play your position. And then what can Caitlin Clark improve on? Caitlin needs to improve her emotions. Okay? It seems like every time she gets a technical foul, everybody wants to react. That's on her. I read that stuff yesterday, and I said that it makes sense. If you get a technical foul, you get fined. But it doesn't hurt Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark has all the sponsorship in the world. It gets annoying. It gets annoying when she goes up to the refs and wants everything. Dude, you just put 10 pounds of muscle on you. What makes you think that you want everything? You want every call. When you get your ass on the ground, you want a call. You just spent the whole entire off season lifting your body to get ready for the contact. What was the point? You get knocked down this year and you want a call? No. You spent a bunch of money and a bunch of hours working on your body to fling off that contact. That is ridiculous. That you want to go up to a ref and show him or her off. Stop it. The team needs you. Number 5, Rookie of the Year candidate. Paige Beckers, Dominic Malanga, and Haley Van Lith are my top three. Okay. Paige Beckers obviously is the runaway for the Rookie of the Year award. It's not even close. I'm not sure if Dominic Malanga is going to play. She was the second pick in the draft. Everybody's been raving about her. I honestly don't think she's going to play. Haley Van Lith, if she can find a way to get on the court, that'd be great as well. I just feel like she should be the main point guard. I don't like this point guard nonsense of Angel Reese. I know you want to be all about the team. I get it. I understand. That's great. But let's win the regular season first, and then we can talk about a different position for you. How's that sound? Okay. So, number 6, these players got released yesterday, some last week. I made a post yesterday saying that, well, can we expand the rosters a little bit? So let's hear which players got released. Deja Kelly got released from the Aces yesterday, which was a surprise to me because she hit the game-winning shot last week. That game-winning shot means that it doesn't get you a contract. The game-winning shot means that it keeps a roster spot for another day or two. That doesn't mean an automatic roster spot, even though she should get a roster spot over Kristen Bell. I think Deja Kelly is ready for the WNBA. Harmony Turner is another Aces player that got drafted and got released. Didn't even see the court for a minute or two. We didn't even know more about her. She came from Harvard. We don't know nothing about her, and yet she got released last week. Ann Sellers, she got released by 2 teams in a week and a half, which is pretty ridiculous. I never seen that before. I never seen a player get released by 2 teams. Mackenzie Holmes, the Storm player, Mackenzie Holmes got hurt last year. Trying to make the roster, couldn't make the roster. Serena Sundell is the 3rd round pick from the Storm. She got released yesterday. Latu King again got released from the Sparks. Madison Scott got released. Madison Scott and Ariette Vonleh both got released from the Wings last week. Bree Hall was the first cut last week. And then Jessica Carter from the Chicago Sky was cut this past weekend. And then Ashley Jones was cut, I think, 2 days ago. So this means that the WNBA not only doesn't care about you, the teams know who they have on their roster. I would like to expand the rosters. If we have to go 14, let's go 14. I know everybody's not going to get equal playing time. The game's only 40 minutes. If you make it a 48-minute game for the WNBA, they make it 40 plus in college. And so if you make it 48 minutes, if you're going to add more time to the scoreboard, add more rosters, I want to see then let's do it. I mean, 11, 12 is not enough. I think 13 will be great. I'll even go 13. Because the thing about it is when you have 13 players, you're able to mix in and out. You're not able to like go sign someone off the street. What if that person on the street plays well for 2 games, and then you got to release him again? Then it means that they have a roster for life. Now, someone said yesterday about a 10-day contract. I'm in all favor of the 10-day contract, but there should be some rules to that. A 10-day contract means that you got to play these amount of minutes. You sign a 10-day contract, you're going to get this amount of minutes. So I'm not in favor of the 10-day contract, but if it does happen, then let's do it. Let's do it. So I wish these players nothing but the best, man. It's just rough. It's rough because when you're Cheyenne Sellers, you get released by 2 teams. You don't even see the court. And your Maryland team almost beat South Carolina in that Sweet 16. And then Latu King, she didn't fit the role of what the Sparks were running. And so to me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Arianet Vanille had Arianet Vanille. I didn't mean to laugh when I didn't mean to laugh when Arianet Vanille got released. Bree Hall was the first cut. That's a very surprising one. But you know what else is not so surprising? Doker Uhas. Now, Doker Uhas yesterday said that she's taking a break. She's not going to play in the WNBA season. Kind of like those players that don't want to play. I know Lou Lopez said this. I think she said this last season, and we haven't seen her since. Doker is playing in France right now for her club team. She's got the playoffs, and then after the postseason, she's going to rest. Okay, Dorka, let me tell you something, and I want to be honest and real here. People are coming after your spot every single year. The WNBA has no time in the world for players to sit out. The league has given you everything and anything they can to make you feel good, to make you be who you are. If you want to sit out, great. We don't care. We care, but we don't. Okay? You are young. You're not 30 years old. You're young. You're a young person that doesn't want the grind of playing basketball for another season or 2. You just want to stay overseas, which, fine, whatever. Stay overseas. Great. Okay? Yeah, stay overseas. Fine, whatever, man. So, if you want to stay overseas, that's great. Go to France. Fine. But Dorka, remember, we're not expecting you to keep your spot. There's somebody else out there that they're going to probably draft and get free agents and take your spot away. You didn't want to improve in the season. You were supposed to be Caller's backup. You didn't want to do that. Now we got to focus on other players that want to be in the WNBA. You don't want to be there. It's fine. It's cool. Whatever. I'm not saying it's the end for you. I wish you nothing but the best. But remember, and that goes for everybody that wants to sit out. If y'all want to sit out, the league does not care. Teams will wish you the best, but they know their team. They have their identity, and they move on from you quickly because they got a championship to go after. Now, my last and final point. Here's my predictions for the season. Number 7. My predictions for the season. The Fever are number 1. They're going to get the number 1 seed in the standings. They got the complete team. Number 2, Minnesota. Minnesota's got a complete team outside of one player that I just mentioned. Number 3, the Las Vegas Aces are bound to come back. They are bound to. This is their bounce back season. They're bound to come back. I think Jewel Lloyd would be better than Kelsey Plum. New York Liberty is my number 4 team. You can't count them out. As long as Stewie is Sabrina Ionescu is there, they got a bunch of new players that can fit the mold. You know, Sandy Brondelli is the best out of timeout adjuster ever, and so this team's going to compete. Number 5 is the Dallas Wings. Dallas Wings is I had them in the top 2, but I was like, okay, I can't go past Minnesota nor the Liberty. I had to put Dallas at number 5 because Dallas got a new coach, and I think this is going to be a great season for them. Number 6 is the Chicago Sky. Chicago Sky, new coach, new situation, equals new leadership, and I expect Angel Reese to take a lead this year. If you follow her lead, the team follows her lead, the team's going to win. If they follow her lead, the team's going to win. Number 7 is the Seattle Storm. Now, Seattle Storm, Nicole Quinn is on her last legs. If she has a great regular season, she keeps her job for another year or 2. I honestly think they will give her a contract extension if Seattle gets out the gate quickly. Number 8. This is the fight of the last time. I got the last 4 teams fighting for number 8 spot. I got the Atlanta Dream, the Connecticut Sun, the Los Angeles Sparks, and the Golden State Valkyries fighting for that last spot. I do think that out of those teams, I do think that the Sun are better than the Dream. As far as roster rise goes, I know the complete rebuild should be there for Connecticut Sun, but after watching them last week, well, actually yesterday, they look good. They look great out there. The only thing they're missing is some shooters, and Marina Maryberry did not want to be there. Now Marina needs to change her mind and be like, okay, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here for good. I want to see what this team's going to go. And plus, the team's moving the franchise anyways. You know that's going to be like 99.9 happening. I don't know where they're going to move the franchise to, but that franchise is moving. The Sparks, new coach, motion offense. I want to see what happens with that. The Golden State Valkyries, new team on the rise. Listen. I'm interested. I love their team. I'm rooting for Natalie. I wish her nothing but the best. A bunch of veteran players. She knows what she wanted on her team. She didn't go for young. She went for vets. So I like her mindset. The Misses and Mercury obviously are on the back ends of bad organizations. The Phoenix Mercury, badly owned by Matt Ishbia, who is the one that owns the Phoenix Suns. He can't get his son. Again, that ownership sucks. The Washington Mystics ownership sucks, and they got new coaches. And I'm like, it's not their fault that they can't get the franchise going. The owners need to look at themselves and say, hey, I need to sell this team. I need to do something to make sure that this franchise is number 1. This franchise is in the top 10 as far as bringing money in. So we'll see. Those are my top 13 teams. Now, next week we'll talk about the first week of the WNBA season. The Dallas Wings play. I think everybody's playing this weekend, so I want to see what happens. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Combine if it's available, and then we're going to recap the off season for the teams that have lost in the second round, and we're going to preview the Eastern and the Western Conference Finals when we get there. Now, guys, thank you for listening to watching my podcast. Make sure you subscribe to your podcast wherever you get your podcast at, and I will see y'all next week. It's Beyond the Game on Fishbowl Radio.
Hey world, this is Jamie, host of the Jamie and Genty Show, broadcasting live each week on Tuesday at 12 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios. Log on to hear sports talk from basketball to football and view your feedback on the biggest sports news you want to talk about from around the world. So be sure to log on each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Jamie and Genty Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.
And never leave me aside.
Easy your rain and shine first day. What you give me, it don't change now. And I ain't leaving never. You're who I'm here for. Yeah, so want to choose, I want to choose.
Those conversations that nobody want to talk about, fray away from, they're scared to talk about. Yeah, the throne. That's where the conversation is being had. On Fishbowl Radio Network every Saturday from 1 to 3.
Dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Fishbowl Radio Network.
Yes, you went away straight from high school. You up and left me. We were close friends, also lovers. Did what you hear say? Is it your heart still mine? Yeah, it's been too long. Tell me what I'm gonna do. Young and innocent, and it just. Baby girl, I'm missing. She doesn't fully understand me, 'cause I'd rather leave than to cheat. She give me some time, I can be the man she needs, but there's a lot of lust inside of me, and we've been together since our teenage years. I really don't mean to hurt her, but I need some time to be alone. Just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I feel so sad now that I wanna leave. She's crying her heart to me. How could you let this be? I just need time to see where I wanna be. To hurt you, baby. Did I imagine that you would play a major part in a decision that's so hard? Do I leave? Do I stay? Do I go? Think about my life and what matters to me the most. Girl, the love that we share is real, but in time your heart will heal. Without you, just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I feel so sad now that I wanna leave. She's crying her heart to me. How could you let this be? I just need time to see where I want to hurt you, baby. Say when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I feel so sad now that I wanna leave. She's crying her heart to me. How could you let this be? And I just need time to see where I wanna be. Say when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I feel so sad now that I wanna leave. She's crying her heart to me. How could you let this be? And I just need time to see where I wanna be. Say when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I feel so sad now that I wanna leave. And she's crying her heart to me. How could you let this be? And I just need time to see where I wanna be, where I wanna be. Well, to raise your time once in the way to do my heart.
See, man, I ain't tripping off none of my homeboys, and I ain't tripping off none of her girlfriend. Because I can't do that. We're going to be together. We're going to do this.
Set up.
No, we can do this.
Love is oh so rare. It's something that's hard to find. So if you got someone special, take my advice and hold on tight. Something to you, you might find yourself searching from the edge to.
What about you, Craig?
You ain't never seen a trip like this. Heaven at your fingertips. Don't you let a minute slip. Just say you.
Spaces in between. It's magic when I taste you in the beam. She don't want the drink, she want the rent. She got money in the bank. What you think about that? She don't see fly, she's stunned. She gon' bust it. What you think?
I'm out here paying rent. No, that I could get the dime, but I'ma get the ace. Just to run it up and see everybody's face. When they ring the check, so I can sign my name. I might have to face all that. Now tell the ballet, bring my phone to the front, yeah. I'm getting in solo, I got it solo. Let the cameras hit my diamond cush, yeah. I got them rock solo, I got it solo. It's real boss style flash. I ain't the passenger on the pod.
She just she gon' bust it. What you all my stress, and yet she's the only one that can truly ease my mind. I can't get, so I can't understand. We could be confused, baby. The way is clear. Step your mind, releasing you will find. Music was made for the cruising is made for. Baby, take mine. Belongs to us. By inch, we get closer, closer. It was made for love. Was made for. Stay there inside you. Love, take your mind high. I'm just releasing. You will find. Together. This makes me love. Never went to speak. Music was made for love, baby. Together. Come on. For me, baby. Music was made for love.
Happening, it's your boy Mark Henry back on the On Your Mark Show. Powered and sponsored by Epic Sports Apparel. Every play I compete. Do you just wake up and go hard? Be epic. We have a new studio home, Fishbowl Studios. The On Your Mark Show is going to bring it to you every Wednesday. Every week, we're going to talk recruiting, the best games around the state, and in the DFW, we'll get parents, players, coaches involved right here at Fishbowl Studios. Wednesday from 11 to 12. You can follow us on Facebook at On The Mark Sports, on Twitter at MarkHen44, on IG, Instagram at MarkHen_44. We are epic every week. Check out the On Your Mark Show at Fishbowl Studios. We out.
Hi, this is Diane Marion Eunice, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. For the past 9 years, I have worked with over 300 couples in the areas of sexual health, communication, and conflict resolution. If you are interested in rebuilding connection and intimacy with your partner, please contact me today. I can be reached at 682-201-8175, or you can email me at diane@letstalkrelationships.org, or visit my website at www.letstalkrelationships.org. And remember, you can't heal if you refuse to deal.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance. Say hi, guys. When I adopted them, I discovered that they both have incredible personalities. Chance's sole purpose in life is to love and to be loved. Frankie is a little bit of a scoundrel and always entertaining. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
Radio Network. MBRN.US. Jump in.
Got somewhere to feel out of race when it comes to love. Me that you're running slow dance to the radio. It's forever so long away. So won't you please, please let the record play? Just not enough time. Something that's out of your control. Close your eyes, forever so long. Forever so long away. So won't you please, please let the record play? Just let the record play. It's in rotation. Never let it fade away. So won't you please, please let the record play? Just let the record play. With the memories that can't be erased. Although we need it, won't feel thing to you. Let's get secret. Joy boy, that's why I'm dreaming of you. Yeah, yeah, baby, let's go. Yeah, yeah, baby, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thinking.
Beautiful, beautiful. Plain to see, you're the reason that God made us.
Misunderstood, don't need to be complicated. You got truly something special. Just what my dreams are. Dreams are really made of. Let's stay together.
Girl, can't really explain it. I'm so into you now. I wanna be more than a friend of you now. When they ask, I mention my baby girl in the interviews now. And I don't bring the problems from the 90s and the 2000s. The kid's ready to tell you how he feel in a few vows. Maybe I speak in general now. But girl, I'ma do whatever just to keep a grin on you now. Where I go, they wear bikinis in the winter too now. What you think about tan lines on the skin of you now? Why wouldn't I wanna spend a few thou? On Fifth Ave, shopping sprees, and them dinners to chow. I ain't concerned what other men would do now. As long as when I slide up in you, you growl. Sitting in the bins, credit cards with no limits, so you don't worry about maxing when you spend. But since you been asking about the friends, how'd you like it if both our names had Jackson on the ends? Girl, the way you cook a steak remind me of the strips and roof Chris. You love my smile, no matter how chipped my tooth is. With you, it ain't because my whips is ruthless. So sit on chrome, dipped up deuces. And you ain't flattered by canary and VS dip, taste suited. Cover ballers look dumb when they press you, 5s and 6s. You don't let them count the numbers impress you. Even though I was somewhat successful, yeah, me and a player was becoming too stressful. But every since the superwoman has come to my rescue, my winter's been wonderful, my summer's been special. Let's fly the same bark while the villa be painted, just so we can get really acquainted. The love is real, there's no way it can feel like it's tainted, but I can't really explain it. Yeah.
Taking every time, dancing with your box aside. I want you forever, but good intentions never willing. Tonight I'm inside, turn around, sit and say you had a man that never. So I can every time somebody tell. Hello, please, baby. Gonna search till I drop, till I find that girl. I gotta believe there's a Ronnie for me somewhere in this world. I'm not gonna stop, gonna search till I drop, till I find that girl. Girls, taking every time.
Say my name, no one is around you. Say, baby, I love change. Say my name, too. If somebody said, then tell me who. Say my name is around. Say my seconds ago, said you just got in the house. It's hard to believe that you are at home by yourself. When I just heard the voice of someone else. Just this question, yeah, 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 yeah.
family, baby. Someone that truly understands. Oh yeah.
I mean, you ain't ready to ride to start dressing. I need a girl receive my mom's lesson. Confession, my love, no contesting. I need affection.
Listen, I need affection. Let's go, Marion.
Girl, what the hell is on your mind? This is what I need, baby. Hey. Is a pretty woman standing next to me, girl. To share the dreams that I believe. When I wake up in the morning, maybe we can start a family. I wanna see your pretty face, baby. Someone that truly understands, baby.
Make sure that you look good. Make sure that I smell good. Let's purchase 2 new Bentleys. I know that it looks trendy. So glad that it's not windy. Here comes that girl named Donnie. Ask if she wants to go. Tonight's gonna be hot for sure. Big dancing on the floor. Folks stripping, I don't know. Money flying everywhere. Champagne, we won't go there. Bottles popping in the air. They'll be screaming, I don't care.
Your eyes, go ahead, do what you like. I'm feeling just as fine as tonight. So tonight, freak your
Every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time here on Fishbowl Studios. You'll hear sound doctrine and traditional gospel music. Thy Kingdom Come, Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time here on Fishbowl Studios.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
FBRN.US. Fishbowl Radio Network. Jump in.
Hi, this is Diane Marion Eunice, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. For the past 9 years, I have worked with over 300 couples in the areas of sexual health, communication, and conflict resolution. If you are interested in rebuilding connection and intimacy with your partner, please contact me today. I can be reached at 682-201-8175, or you can email me at diane@letstalkrelationships.org, or visit my website at www.letstalkrelationships.org. And remember, you can't heal if you refuse to deal.
Looking for answers, some kind of sign, a deeper meaning, but not much to find, except the sun on my face, and it feels right. Had gotten used to the silence of the night. Thought of your arms, I'm already safe. Brand new strength, then I landed on my feet. Up in the air, it's so easy to breathe. Double my hopes and gave them back to me. You make me feel, so let me know.